Oh, Bakshi, it's your birthday. Not for real, just for play. This is Cree Summer, and Moana Nui will be right back.
Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, Buenas noches, hello and good evening. On behalf of the entire Raksha family, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you all to the 26th annual Ek Shaam Raksha ke Naam, or an evening in the name of Raksha. My name is Aruna Rao McCann, and I'm honored to be your MC this evening. Before we begin, a few housekeeping rules. Please place your cell phones on silent mode. No flash photography tonight. If you need to leave the room, please do so in silence and as infrequently as possible so as not to disturb the presenters, the performers, and the audience members. We thank you for your courtesy. We hope you find this evening's program entertaining and informative. Informative about the way Raksha serves as a lifeline to many in our community for whom hope is lost. Raksha leadership, staff, and volunteers engage in a myriad of activities to help make our South Asian community healthier and stronger. And the thank you is sincere. Raksha means protection in several languages. They provide protection for the victims of violence of all types. You provide shelter and protection for Raksha, and from our hearts, we are grateful. I'm going to take just a few minutes to talk about the world beyond our community. It is unmissable. Every day it seems a new leader is exposed, shamed, and sometimes even charged with crimes. Leaders in the entertainment business, media, industry, politics, and in all walks of life. It does not matter if they represent a developed or a developing nation and their people. Women and children's rights get eroded each day as we go further into the 21st century and are making advances in all other areas that impact our lives. People who used positions of power to victimize women with less power. People who not only abused women, but abused the power that comes with leadership. This is not over. I would be amazed if we do not hear new allegations this coming weekend about someone we used to admire. It is clear, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a South Asian problem. This is a human problem. And ultimately, it is a failure of leadership. Over the years, we have slowly and steadily chipped away at these stereotypes, making it possible for Kalpana Chawla to go into space, for an A.R. Rahman to become a musician. We have had female MPs, prime ministers, and presidents of countries. We have chipped at blind traditions of dowry, female infanticide, and the accepted violence against women and children. South Asians are the most successful, most rapidly ascendant immigrant group in this country. You have encouraged your children to work harder and reach further than you could. And look around you tonight and when you go home. You will be looking at the next generation of physicians who will be treating the wounded. You'll be looking at the next generation of lawyers who will be defending the victims of violence. And you'll be looking at the next generation of public health officials and social workers who sound the alerts for the epidemiology of violence. Yes, violence. You'll be looking at the next generation of legislators who will write the laws of the land that protect these victims of violence. And you'll be looking at the next generation of CEOs who will set the standards of behavior that protect these victims of violence. These future leaders need your leadership. And please take your position as leaders seriously. If you see something, say something. Don't turn a blind eye. If you're a victim, try and speak up. Raksha services are confidential. If you know a victim, do not let them suffer alone. And this is how real leaders behave. The next generation, your children, are counting on you to show leadership. Perhaps if you do show this leadership, some happy day in the future we will not have to do yet another Ek Shaam Raksha Ke Naam, our principal fundraiser of the year. Until then, your support of Raksha is greatly welcomed and very necessary. It is priceless. But it is your leadership that is the real game changer. Please lead as bravely as you give so generously. To wrap up quickly on the topic of generosity, I must say that Raksha's work would not be possible without the generous support of our sponsors, advertisers, in-kind donors, and above all, volunteers. They are listed on your table, and please take a moment to view them. And they're also listed on both of these monitors. Join me in a huge round of applause as I finish mentioning their names, and support these businesses when you need their services and products, because they too are leaders. So please join me in thanking our platinum sponsor Astrea, our silver sponsors ADR, the Shet Foundation, Dr. Anu and Subra Bhatt and Blue Rock Wealth Management, our gold sponsors Delta Airlines and the Sony family of Augusta, Georgia, the bronze sponsors of the Gokre Law Firm, KPBB Law, the Shah family, the Fusion, the community partners such as Bhavya Chowdhury, Pyramid, Herbs and Kettles, Karma Injury Law, Rahman, Ramesh and Vijaya Bakshi, the Friends of Raksha, the Chug Law Firm, Reshma and Hitesh Shah, the Shah Law Firm, and the event sponsors that support us such as Print and Signs, Eric Voss Photography, and Source Events, our media sponsors such as NRI Pulse, Cover, and TV Asia. If I have inadvertently left any of your names, please accept my apologies, and I will rectify that during the intermission and also at the end of the program. But please do know that all of you, with your presence here tonight, and all of the sponsors, are appreciated very much by everyone here. And now I welcome Nisha Kapil, who is the chair of the Raksha board, to say a few words.
Thank you, Aruna, and good evening, everyone. On behalf of Raksha's board members, Bhavya Chaudhary, Sangeeta Shet, Tina Thapur, Karina Deochand, and Marianne King, and Bhavya and Sangeeta, can you please stand here in the room tonight? We are deeply grateful to all our sponsors for their generosity and continued support. And Pranan Foundation, we are extremely grateful to them. They're not able to be here, but we feel their spirit and presence in the room. Dolly and Vikas Verma, thank you. And we are so thankful to all of you for having braved the southern cold on this Friday night to join us. But we will warm your evening with varied stories and the incredible impact that we will have you hear from our awardees as well. So thank you to celebrate our 26th annual Raksha, Ek Shaam Raksha Ke Naam together. We salute and thank Raksha's extremely compassionate and dedicated staff, whose impact is evident each and every day. And I know the staff has been extremely busy for the past few weeks, months, if you can imagine. So can we have them stand, please, the staff who are in the room? Without you, Raksha's work would not even be possible. And to Raksha's Executive Director, Aparna Bhattacharya, it is truly impossible to encapsulate how tirelessly you work to keep this organization thriving in its mission. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts, Aparna. And now I will leave you back in the capable hands of our distinguished, amazing, delightful MC, Aruna.
Thank you, Nisha. And when I said my apologies to anybody I left out, let me offer my sincere appreciation and apologies to Dolly and Vikas Verma of the Pranan Foundation, who have not only supported us as a Diamond sponsor, but have already pledged for next year. Our theme for tonight is Unsung, Unseen Stories of Hope, Resilience and Courage. Raksha has shared stories of unsung heroes through voices and connections within the community. Shaam has always been about the community and to show Raksha's appreciation for your support. Through some fun events planned this evening, we also want to honor many individuals both locally and globally who work for their own survival along with survival of the respective communities. We know everyone has a story, but women's stories are often not told or shared. We have stories of women speaking their truths or unveiling corruption in their communities, whose lives were taken, who are survivors of violence in conflict-ridden countries, and survivors in our local communities who are waiting to be heard. At this point, on behalf of our community, I would like to extend our heartfelt appreciation to the survivors who have stepped out of the shadows to tell their stories, to walk in your shoes and to show that bravery, that resilience is hard to put into words, and each of us here thanks you. We are also recognizing another staff member who is celebrating a very special anniversary, 5 years of being a practicing therapist with Raksha, and that's Aisha Chowdhury. And now, to kickstart this evening, we present the Fab Store. I'm being said something. So we are now going to present something to Aisha.
Thank you so much, you guys.
One more time. To kickstart this evening, we present the Fab Store, who will present a fab fashion show. They're today to showcase here thoughtfully curated collections tailored to embody a particular model with defined features. After the event tonight and during intermission, you can purchase a sari, a stole, or even a dupatta designed with Raksha's word of inspiration. Please join your hands in welcoming the Fab Store.
Presenting Raksha's core values. Justice. Healing. Empowerment. Justice. At Raksha, we ensure justice by connecting our clients to essential resources such as attorneys who advocate for their legal rights and therapists who support their emotional healing, empowering them to regain their sense of self. The Fab Store saris, Medusa with flowers in her hair, and Swami Vivekananda both symbolize justice in transformative ways. Medusa reclaiming her narrative with beauty and strength, and Vivekananda advocating for equality through wisdom and compassion. Together, they remind us that true justice balances power with grace and intellect and with empathy. Healing. Raksha promotes healing through counseling and fosters emotional recovery by building a supportive community. By connecting clients to cultural resources that resonate with them, we provide comfort and healing during challenging times. The five-star saris of the crane's gentle flight and the Van Gogh starry night both embody healing. The crane, a symbol of renewal and peace, and the swirling stars, a reminder that even in chaos, there's a soothing rhythm to guide us towards wholeness. Empowerment. Raksha empowers our clients by equipping them with tools, resources, and support they need to regain control over their lives. Through legal advocacy, counseling, and community connections, we help them build confidence, resilience, and a sense of independence to overcome challenges and thrive. The five stars Durgama and Frida Kahlo embody empowerment in unique yet parallel ways. Durgama symbolizes fierce strength and protection, slaying obstacles with the divine power, while Frida transforms pain into art, redefining resilience and self-expression. Together, they remind us that empowerment comes from embracing both inner strength and creative individuality. Empathy. At Raksha, we show up with empathy by actively listening to our clients' stories without any judgment, acknowledging their experiences and validating their emotions. We create a safe, supportive space where they feel seen, heard, and understood, tailoring our assistance to meet their unique needs with compassion and care. The five-star saris depict that empathy is like a mother and father's love, nurturing like a mother who feels your every emotion, and steadfast like a father who stands by you to understand and support you through every challenge. They both stand by and provide support to their children until they need assistance, always proud of their accomplishments. Resilience. Our clients are inherently resilient, and at Raksha, we encourage them to reconnect with that inner strength during moments of sadness or doubt. By highlighting their unique strengths and providing targeted support through our services, we help them address areas of need while fostering and uplifting the resilience above all else. The five-star saris, with a classical dancer, embodies resilience like a flame in the wind, graceful yet unyielding. Every precise movement born from years of discipline and perseverance. Same is the case with each game of chess. The chess player only becomes a grandmaster after years of resilience. Compassion. At Raksha, we show up with compassion by approaching each client with kindness, patience, and a genuine desire to alleviate their pain. We prioritize their well-being, respect their dignity, and provide thoughtful support, ensuring they feel valued and cared for throughout their healing journey. The fact dorsale of the zodiac system reflects how each sign embodies unique compassion, showing that, like the stars in the sky, we shine brightest when we coexist, offering support, understanding, and care in our own special ways. The world countries, like the stars in the sky, each shine with their unique cultures, strengths, and contributions. Together, they illuminate path to harmony, reminding us that coexistence and mutual respect make our shared world brighter.
For having such a wonderful collection of items and to which was woven so much of what Raksha stands for and represents for so many of us. We would be very remiss if we did not honor some of the most amazing mothers who passed away this year and who were connected to Raksha. We would like to honor the late Sharda Desai, mother of Janak Desai, who himself passed away, and one of our former board members. Prem Sharma, mother of Sonia Sharma, one of the initial founders of Raksha, and Vidya Shukla, mother of Gauri. And we pass our condolences to the family and to let them know that we will continue to honor their loved ones who have meant so much to this organization. And now, I'm extremely excited to introduce our keynote speaker, Alka Joshi. Before I forget, Ms. Joshi has graciously agreed to sign some of the books that you will be purchasing and great gifts for the upcoming holidays later after the program. Alka Joshi is the internationally best-selling author of the Jaipur trilogy, The Henna Artist, The Secret Keeper of Jaipur, and The Perfumist of Paris. Her debut novel, The Henna Artist, immediately became a New York Times bestseller, a Reese Witherspoon Book Club pick, an LA Times bestseller, a Toronto Star bestseller, an indie bookstores bestseller, and a Cosmopolitan Best Audiobook, and an Amazon and Goodreads favorite. It was longlisted for the Center for Fiction First Novel Prize and has been translated into 29 languages. It is currently in development as an episodic series. In 2023, Forbes selected Alka as one of 50 women above the age of 50 who are shattering age and gender norms. Alka was born in India and came to the United States with her family at the age of 9. She is a bachelor's from Stanford University and an MFA from California's College of Art. Her fourth novel, 6 Days in Bombay, releases on April 15th, 2025. Please join your hands together to extend a very warm welcome to Alka Joshi.
Thank you to Aruna. Thank you to all of you who are here to support Raksha, which we know means protection for all those who are vulnerable in the South Asian community. And I also want to thank Aparna for welcoming me into this. Nisha, whose husband Vikas and she picked me up from the airport yesterday, and of course Bhavya. So those are the people I have been in touch with. Also Pooja Garg, who is the deputy editor of Khabar magazine, and she's the one who introduced me to this whole group here. So in 1937, a young girl named Sudha was born, and she was told that she shouldn't raise her voice. She was told to not speak unless spoken to. She was told that her job was to be a good wife and mother, and she was told that she did not have any decision-making power over her life. So she was going to be arranged in marriage with somebody, and that whether she wanted children or not, or however many she wanted, she was going to provide those. And she was told that her life was really to serve everyone else. And so then she was married in 1955 to my father, and so that was my mother. She had 3 children in 4 years, and she didn't get to go to college. She did not get to have a career. And the year was 1955, so I know things have changed since then. But in 1967 then, when she was 30 years old, we moved to the United States as a family. My father was getting a doctorate at Iowa State University. And what happened to her when she came to America is she saw that American women had agency. They had a voice in a way that she had never experienced. And so she thought, I have one daughter, and I can make sure that she has a voice. And so, sorry. So she never said to me, your job is to be a wife and mother. She said, your job is to have the biggest voice that you can. And I think what it did was it gave me power. It gave me the opportunity to say, no matter what happens, I have this. I have my intelligence, and I have an ability to have my voice be heard. And because of her influence, and also because I grew up in a very liberal family, I have been able to have a very full life. I chose a college that I wanted to go to, thousands of miles from home. I majored in what I wanted to major in, and my parents knew I was a creative person. And they said, go ahead and have a creative career, but you're going to have to figure out some way to pay your bills. And I did that. I worked in advertising for a long time. And I have had an opportunity to live all over the world. I chose my partner in life, and we've had a wonderful marriage for 29 years. And I think that what was important for me is that I used that voice to help everyone else who did not have those opportunities. And that came along in 2008. My brother, Piyush, who is here tonight, had bought a flat in Jaipur where a lot of our extended family lives. And he had remodeled it, and it was just gorgeous. And my mother said, honey, let's go visit, because he's opened it up to everybody. Will you take me there? She was in her 70s, and she wanted a chaperone. So I went with her, and we had a wonderful 2 weeks together, and then I had to go back home, because in 2008, when the recession hit, and when there was a big mortgage crisis, I'm sure everybody remembers that, I had been running my own advertising and marketing agency. And at that point, many of my projects either were cut or they were going to be delayed. And so I thought, well, I've weathered several recessions in my own agency. I know that they take about 2 years to abate, so what can I do in 2 years? And at that time, I had been married for 16 years, and for 16 years, my husband had been telling me, you're a good storyteller, you could write fiction if you wanted to. And I said, well, I already write advertising, so what would be the difference? And he said, I think you could write novels. So I thought, well, maybe I'll listen to him, because, you don't always listen to your husband, and so this was my opportunity. And I signed up in a 2-year Masters of Fine Arts program in creative writing. And this was in California and San Francisco. I had wonderful instructors. And when I was in India with my mother, as I'm in this program, I'm starting to get an idea of what I want to write. And what I want to write about is seeing my mother in Jaipur, in this environment, after 41 years, she is coming back to India. And I realized that not that much has changed for women in her position, that she is still having her voice stifled. There are all of these societal rules that she must follow. There is so much of what will people say unless she toes the line. And I wanted to create the world for her that she created for me, this world where I have complete independence to be able to do whatever I want in my life. I thought, well, how can I do that? I'm writing fiction. I could create a fictional character that allows my mother freedom. And this is where Lakshmi, in the henna artist, is born. Lakshmi looks just like my mother. She has her green eyes, she has her gorgeous hair and complexion. But that is where the similarity ends, because Lakshmi has an opportunity to leave her abusive marriage after 2 years and then to develop an entire life as a henna artist and an herbal healer. And she is gaining her independence at the same time that India is navigating its own very young independence in 1955. And so I said to my mother, Mom, I'm writing this book for you. And she said, oh, that's nice, honey. And then every time I was in Jaipur, I would be writing a little more in the book, and I would read it aloud to her and say, is this authentic? Does this feel like your life? And she would go, yeah, I think that's good. Or she would correct me, and then she would say, it's good, honey, keep going. So I made this trip with my mother several times during my MFA program, and I came out of the program with a thesis, and the thesis was The Henna Artist. Very early stages. But shortly after I graduated, my mother died, and it was an unexpected thing. So I stopped writing altogether, because the whole reason for me to write this novel was for her, to pay tribute to her, and to thank her for giving me this life. So about a year went by, and I was working back in my advertising and marketing. By then, clients were calling me back. And as I was doing that, one of my instructors called, and she said, Alka, we have to get you working on that novel again, and let's try to get it published, because we think you might have the best shot of your cohorts. So I said, okay. I started working with Anita on it, and she eventually then sent it off to her agent. I get a call from New York, and hello, this is Emma Sweeney. I am with Emma Sweeney Literary Agency. We've been in business for 30 years. Anita is one of my clients. She sent me your manuscript. I love it. I love this character of Lakshmi. I want to work with you on it. And I said, hooray, I'm going to get published. I can't believe this. I didn't even have to go look for an agent. And Emma said, hold on just a second. You're not getting published right now. You have so much more work to do on this novel than you realize. And I said, but I thought you liked the novel. And she said, I do, but the thing is, when you are somebody who has never had anything published, not a chapbook, not a short story, not a novel, nobody in the literary world knows who you are, then you have to make that first book sing. You have to have it be a bestseller. Otherwise, we will not get a second book contract for you, or a third book, or a fourth book. So I said, okay, what do you want me to do? Well, I need you to cut out every other chapter. I need you to cut out 150 pages out of the book. I need you to work on the ending, and I need you to work on the beginning, and I need you to make this character stronger, and I need you to make this character weaker. And oh my God, 3 years went by, and I am passing these revisions back and forth and back and forth. And finally I said, Emma, at what point are you going to send this out to a publisher? And she said, well, you're not ready. I said, listen, why don't we just send it off and just say, hey, are you kind of interested in this? And she said, that's not the way it works. In publishing, you get one chance to make that a first impression. You don't get a second impression. It's not like they say, oh, we like this and this about it. Why don't you go back and work on it? No, it's not like that. So I said, okay, now what should I do? She said, you need to hire some independent editors to give you really clear feedback. She said, I have taken you as far as I can go. And I said, Emma, I thought you were my editor. And she said, no, I'm just an agent. I like your book, so I've been working on it with you. But you need to hire some independent editors. She gave me a list of people to call. I called the first person on the list, and that person says, you know what, love the novel and everything, but there's 8 pages of things that I think you should consider or do differently. So I thought, well, that's not what I wanted to hear, so I'm going to call the second person on the list. And I called her, and then she said, there's 18 pages of things that I think you should consider. And I thought, oh my God, I can't, my agent doesn't want me to publish this. These people don't think I'm ready. I think this is a sham. The whole publishing thing is a sham. I have been led down the wrong path this whole time. I'm not doing this anymore. And I quit. So for the second time, I totally quit. And a year later, I was looking through my desk for a client for something, and I ran across this manuscript, this 350 pages, solid pages. And I thought, oh my God, I have spent so much time working on this. At this point, it was 7 years that I had when I had first started this novel. And how can I not put this out into the world and pay that tribute to my mother? So I got back, I looked at all of the comments that the editors had sent me, and I thought, oh my God, they've gotten so much smarter in the last year, because all of a sudden those comments are making total sense. So I started working on it. I sent it all back to Emma. It took me a whole year to make all of those changes. Sent it back to Emma, and I said, Emma, it's been 9 years since I first started working on this novel. Would you please send it off to somebody? Send it off, or you are no longer my agent. I was really on a high horse there. And so she said, oh, Alka, we don't even have a contract. So you could have gone to anybody else with this book at this time. But I liked it, so I wanted to work with you. I'll send you a contract. And then she sold it immediately to HarperCollins. So now I have a contract that says in 18 months your book will be published and will be in bookstores and libraries. And so, oh no, it gets better. No, wait, hold your applause. I have a new editor now, and she is from the publisher, Kathy. Kathy is going to work with me for the next year on this novel because she has changes that she wants me to make. It never ends. So I think, but you know what, I've got a signed contract. I know that this book is going to be available to everyone soon. And so I'm going to work with Kathy. She and I work on it. It actually becomes better. So when we are done with it, she sends it off to the printer. Now for the next 6 months, the book is going to be at the printers. It's going to be married to the cover. The whole thing is going to be distributed to all the different places like Amazon and Target and bookstores and libraries. In that 6 months, I have a character in the book who will not leave me alone, and that character is Malik. And Malik says, you have so many pages that you took out of that first novel when you were doing your earlier revisions, and it is time for you to write my story. He will not leave my head, so I start writing his story, and that becomes The Secret Keeper of Jaipur, which some of you have read. So it's the same characters, but it's about 12 years later, and I'm 20 pages into the book. My agent says, let's send this off to the publisher. We send it off, and we get a second book contract before the henna artist is even on the bookshelves anywhere. So, oh no, it gets better. So finally, my release date is coming up, and my release date for the henna artist was March 10, 2020. I don't know if anybody remembers that date, but March the 11th, 2020, the CDC sent out a notice telling everybody that we had a global pandemic on our hands and everybody needs to shelter in place, which means you, Alka, don't get to talk to anybody about your book. You're not going to have a launch event. You are not going to have a book signing anywhere in a library or any other venue. I had everything all set up. I had my launch set up. I had my chai and my samosas and this woman coming to dance Kathak for the last scene in the book where Lakshmi is saying goodbye to her house. Everything was so beautiful, but everything was canceled, everything. And I had a pity party for myself for 2 days. And I was mad at my husband because I said, you got me into this. I just spent the last 10 years of my life working on this, and nobody will get to know about this book. And he said, you know, he's very calm. I have a wonderful, very kind husband. And he said, you are going to be fine. Everything is going to be fine. And so I thought, what can I do? I sent out a request to all of my followers at that point on social media. I had gained some followers because over the year prior, I had been telling them about Indian food because I include recipes in the book. I had been telling them about my mother's saris, my mother's wedding jewelry, the way that traditions exist in India. And so I had followers and I reached out to them and I said, please contact me and talk to me about this book. I know some of you guys have received copies. I know some of you guys are still getting on Amazon digital copies, right? Because those didn't require any touching, and we were all afraid anything we touched could give us COVID. So book clubs saved me. Book clubs started responding. People individually started responding and said, well, I have 3 people, I have 6 people. We just started a book club. Why don't you talk to us? And to date, I have done over 900 book clubs on Zoom and in person. And I think that is because I truly believe that we Indians are very resilient people, and I think we find a way to get things done, even in adversity. So then the biggest call came, and that was Reese Witherspoon, and her people called and said she loves the book, and she's going to name it as one of her 12 book picks for 2020. And that just blew everything out of the water. Kudos to Reese Witherspoon. Kudos to anybody like her who says, I can use my influence to elevate females, and in her case, it was female authors. She said female authors do not get the promotion dollars, the advances that male authors do, and this is an opportunity for us to elevate them. So then after Reese Witherspoon, the world opens up with the movie people calling, and we sell the option for the henna artist. Then I come out with another book, The Perfumist of Paris, and then the 4th book is coming out next year, 6 Days in Bombay, and then the 5th book will come out after that. So just like Emma said, you get one good book out and you will keep making good book after good book after good book, and you'll keep getting contracts. Now, not only has this journey been really wonderful for me to be able to thank my mother, my late mother, but also it has taught me 3 valuable lessons. And the first one is that every woman deserves a voice, every woman. And I think anybody here who is supporting Raksha knows that. women who are raising families, women who are educating children, women who cobble together a life out of very little sometimes. Women who have a lot of wealth, the trappings of wealth, but they also feel very diminished in terms of their voice. And so I like to, through my fiction, give women that voice, that strength, the ability to say, I matter. I think that's very important. A second thing that happened while I was writing these books, and something I learned, because I write historical fiction, I do a lot of research, and I want to make sure that that research is authentic. And so in doing that research, I found out all of the many ways in which South Asia does not get the appreciation and the acknowledgement for the many contributions that we have made to the world. So every single book I write highlights these contributions, whether it's herbal medicine, whether it's spices and the golden lattes at Starbucks, whether it's the textiles, these beautiful saris that all of you women are wearing today, whether it's engineering and architectural marvels of the world, and also now, currently, the software and hardware that everybody is operating on 24/7. I mean, I think that India deserves a lot more acknowledgement for her accomplishments than she has received, and I am proud to be able to put some of those in my books. It's a lot more palatable for people to hear that through the lens of fiction than it would be if I were to write a nonfiction book. So that's number 2 that I learned and that I find a valuable lesson. The third is that no one writes a book by themselves and no one can help someone else by themselves. It takes a community, just like Raksha is a community. Everybody's contribution here is what is making this organization so successful and can help so many different people. In my life, it was my agent, it was the various editors I had. No one stifled my voice. Not once did a publisher say to me, you can't write about these issues. You can't write about domestic violence or contraception or abortion or any of these issues that I write about, because they are relevant to women. They are extremely relevant. No one has ever stifled that voice. And then, of course, I have my wonderful family, you know, Piyush, who had the condo that led to this whole thing in Jaipur. And then my older brother, who is a doctor, who vets all of the medicinal things I might put in my book. And then my mom, and of course my 92-year-old dad, who was born before independence, went to Gandhi marches during independence, and then helped build infrastructure as a civil engineer post-independence. And he's still alive and kicking and driving, even though I wish he wasn't driving. But it's been wonderful to have that community support, and so I want to acknowledge you for all the community support you are giving Raksha. And I'm going to close with this. It takes a lot of courage, I think, for anyone to raise somebody else up, to elevate somebody else to a level that they feel worthwhile and they feel that they are contributing. I was in Santa Fe giving a keynote, and after I was done, a woman came up to me and she said, Elka, I am not a crazy person, and this has not happened to me before, but while you were on stage talking, I saw your mother 6 feet behind you, and she had a gold sari, and she was talking to you in your language, which I do not understand, she said, but she was beaming, and she was so proud of you. And I think that was my mother's voice. Thank you very much for having me.
Alka, thank you to your mother for giving you birth and a voice. Thank you for using your voice and creative skills to give voice and encouraging others to have one. Before I forget, on your seats, dear friends, you will find a gift bag that contains a book. The pages are empty. They are yours to fill with stories, memories, goals, or written words that will lend a voice to whatever you want or desire, and they are a gift from Raksha to you. I would now like to welcome Anjali Kambete, honoring her 25 years as a survivor with her poetry and poem, Solidarity Walk.
Hi everyone. Like I said, my name is Anjali Kambete, and I am. Yes. Hi everyone. Starting again. My name is Anjali Kambete, and I am a mother of 2 daughters here who are serving our community. And I am a AWS solutions architect working in cloud technologies, and very well established here, doing really well. And as you can see, happy, confident, and I am a survivor of domestic abuse. And it's been 25 years this year. And I completed a marathon this year, which I never thought I could accomplish. What our esteemed keynote speaker said today really touched my heart. That I was the same person 25 years ago, but really wasn't, because I had no agency over my body, mind, and spirit. I was broken. Literally had my bones broken, and was really feeling like I couldn't have done anything by myself. That is when I had my brother's help and reached out to Raksha. And Aparna here, she's been my saving, she's been my angel. And she embodies every single word that we saw in the fashion show here earlier, in how she treated me, with compassion, with dignity, and love. Gave me the hope that I could believe in myself and rise above everything. And so we had a solidarity walk in August when I had finished 25 years after surviving abuse. And I wrote a poem, and I gave this context to give you that, in terms of Raksha's help for me, in terms of being able to show me sort of across state lines, what are the different resources I could get? How do I take care of myself and my young children? Where do I get counseling resources? Why is counseling important? How do I take care of myself physically, safety-wise, and also legal situations, and how do I take care of myself in all of those aspects? And it wasn't just a one-time event of when I left, which was critical, but all through these years, anytime I had needed help, Aparna has been there for me, and Raksha has been there for me. All the people who work at Raksha have always helped me. And so I just wanted to let you know that the money you donate goes to a really good cause, and you are building lives. And so please be generous and donate and help people like me and make our community better. And my 2 unsung heroes being the theme of today, of course, starting with Aparna, but then is to both my children. So let me read the poem that I had written for this event. Walk in solidarity. Pardon me, Alka Joshi, I am no author, no poet. And so it's a wabi-sabi. Yeah. Don't let me down now, help me cope. Give me strength, give me hope. Cheer me on, my dear community. Walk in my footsteps in solidarity. The path before me is long and winding, but I must go on and keep on living. I need your help in just a small quantity. Walk a few steps with me in solidarity. The seeds of hope and joy that you have sown have blossomed and bloomed and grown. They are doctors now serving your city. Celebrate and walk in solidarity. I am strong now. but there are more. Help end their abuse, build their core. Let's build a healthy community. Let's walk together in solidarity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Anjali, for sharing those beautiful words. And now it is my distinct honor to present and introduce Ramesh and Vijaya Bakshi for the Community Change Award. The Ramesh and Vijaya Bakshi Community Change Award is given in recognition of an individual or an organization's dedication, passion, and energy in creating community change. As many of you know, we would not have Ek Shaam Raksha ke Naam without Ramesh and Vijaya Bakshi, popularly known by all of us as Uncle and Auntie. It was their vision that started this annual fundraiser. We each share our voice in different ways. This year's Community Change Award goes to Kimberly Clark and the National Association of Asian American Professionals, or AAAP Atlanta. Here to collect the awards are Dana Morgan and Crystal Nance with Kimberly Clark and Michelle Lee from NAAAP. We would also like to extend our warm thank you to Ben Rushlow, who has been an avid and amazing supporter, and we thank you. While they're coming up, I also wanted to let you know that for the past 2 years, they had a backpack drive for Raksha. And this year, they did a solidarity walk in support of Anjali's 25 years of having left her abusive situation.
On behalf of Kimberly Clark, of me and Crystal, we were so passionate with working with this organization. When we got introduced to this organization through NAAAP, as I was working with our community relations department, I wanted us to do more than just writing a check. So that following year, we started working with NAAAP and developing an annual drive to collect items for children and their families that they need for school and for their homes. And then, of course, this year we had the Solidarity Walk for our survivors. And going into next year, Crystal will continue to build that relationship and do more for this organization and the families that are getting the support.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of NAAAP Atlanta, I just wanted to thank everybody, and of course, Aparna, for her partnership and everything that we've done together with the community and everybody else, along with Kimberly Clark. This was the first year that we did the Solidarity Walk, so thank you, Anjali, for your story and everything that we did. But we are looking to the continued partnership for next year and to keep this going for everybody. So thank you.
Sort of use this program like Delta Airlines. I wanted to show you that we can start on time and get to your destination on time, but hey, I'm not getting a lot of takers here. So as I said a little while ago, I'm going to excuse myself, but I do feel it is important for me to share some rather grim statistics with you that tells you why we have a place like Raksha and that it's so needed. And while reading these statistics and putting it together along with some of the Raksha staff, I actually wept because I couldn't believe that 8 years ago when I stood before you as an MC, I said every 11 seconds a woman is violated, killed, or raped by somebody she knows. Today, my friends, 24 people per minute, which is 2.4 seconds, that's 2.4 seconds, are victims of rape, physical violence, or stalking by an intimate partner in the United States, and this includes all immigrant groups, lest we think this just pertains to Caucasians and African Americans. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men, yes, let's not forget that men are also victims of violence, experience domestic violence in their lifetime. Women aged 18 to 34 generally experience the highest rate of intimate partner violence. 1 in 6 women and 1 in 33 men will experience sexual assault in their lifetime. And every 9 minutes, that victim is a child. If I could get some silence to the right of to my right, please. 1 in 10 high school students has experienced physical violence from a dating partner in the past year. Majority of us have children, or we know people who have children. Nearly 1 in 3 college women, 29%, say they've been in an abusive dating relationship. From 2022 to now, the South Asian community has lost 51 lives to gender-based violence, or GBV. And in 2024 alone, 19 South Asians lost their lives to GBV. And that could be somebody you know, or somebody that is known to you through another friend or colleague. 63% of the victims were under age 35, and 16 were children or youth, 16%. 42% were immigrant women. And 74% of lives lost were in murder-suicide cases. I don't mean to give you all indigestion by sharing these statistics right after a wonderful meal, but I think it is important for us to share these and to be aware of them so that we know why Raksha exists. We know why Raksha is constantly having to do fundraisers, come to you and ask for money, and your time and your effort to spread the word, to get people to come out from under the darkness, from under the stone that they've crawled to escape their perpetrator, so that you, my friends, are able to say tomorrow that you prevented at least some of these statistics from becoming bigger. Like I said, 8 years ago, it was every 11 seconds. Today, it is every 2.4 seconds. And I sincerely hope, whether I get to be your MC for next year's Eksham or not, that we will have a very different statistic that is showing that things are changing for the better. Aparna represented Raksha at the 30th anniversary of the Violence Against Women Act in the White House. And I was proud to note that she was invited. That shows that Raksha has a place in the map and is recognized by the US government. Since last Eksham, thank you. Since last year's Eksham, Raksha has assisted 495 clients with 355 new requests for help. Raksha has spent quite a bit of money in financial assistance to cover legal, housing, transportation, interpretation and translation, food and medical expenses for our clients. Thanks to generous donors like you, over 400 plus survivors were able to access safe housing, legal support, transportation and food assistance last year. Yes, in our South Asian community, that is one of the most successful communities, there are people who require all of this assistance. This summer, a mother of 2 fled an abusive relationship with nothing but the clothes on her back. Raksha was able to access emergency shelter, legal assistance and therapy, and today she is rebuilding her life because people like you came forward to help. They not only assist survivors of domestic violence, but survivors of sexual assault, child abuse, and victims of other crime. They help navigate systems for these clients that may seem very overwhelming or inaccessible, serving as a bridge to resources, opportunities, and support that are crucial for their well-being. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men, as I said, will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. And your donation can provide safety, counseling, legal assistance, and a haven to those who need it most. Domestic violence within South Asian communities is a complex issue that is influenced by cultural, socioeconomic, and immigration factors. Over the years, Raksha has been working towards awareness and advocacy surrounding this issue. Their continuing efforts to raise awareness provide culturally sensitive services, including to the police department that are called, and engage community members are essential to creating a safer environment for survivors and preventing further cycles of abuse. I know I can stand here and give you several such statistics, and I would humbly request you to go on Raksha's website, where many of these instances and stories and pleas for help are there. Do share them with your friends, families, acquaintances, business partners. Some of you may have companies that do matching donations. Raksha was unable to do Giving Tuesday this year because they have been so overwhelmed with requests for help. So all the more, please do give generously. And once again, your presence here does signify that you believe in this cause and you're as committed to I or many of the others to make sure that we can reduce these statistics. Thank you for listening and thank you for allowing me to share this. And now for a little bit of fun. The Shiv Dance Institute, one of the leading Bollywood studios in Atlanta, has 4 locations in Cumming, Marietta, Duluth, and Alpharetta. They have served over 500 plus children over a decade, and today it is our pleasure to have them perform. Welcome them to the stage with a celebration of renewal, revival, and rebirth. They will take you on a journey of self-discovery, empowerment, and transformation as they embody the spirit of women embracing their new life after 40. Get ready to be inspired, motivated, and energized. And please give them a round of applause.
4, 3, 2, 1.
A little girl's laughter echoes through the hall of childhood. Innocence, curiosity, and wonder shape her early years. She dreams, she plays, and she discovers the world around her. With each passing year, she grows more confident and self-assured. She pursues her passion, builds her career, and cultivates meaningful relationships. She spreads her wings and takes flight into the world. As she becomes a mother, she discovers new depths of love and devotion. She nurtures and guides and supports her children as they grow. She finds joy in the journey of parenthood and celebrates the milestones along the way. We have spent decades nurturing others, building careers, and creating homes. But now it's our turn. Life after 40, a new chapter unfolds. A time for reflection, rediscovery, and empowerment. So let's celebrate this new chapter. Let's embrace our beauty, our intelligence, and our uniqueness.
सोनी सोनी सी कुड़ी नु मौज में रहने देना दुनिया About to enter a new dimension in size.
Are you talking to me?
The Woman Incorporated and South Asian Poetry Collective, who's also the deputy editor with Cover. Her own journey with surviving domestic violence inspired her to earn a fellowship from USC Annenberg on domestic violence impact and community storytelling. She also conducts poetry workshops for healing and is the author of a poetry book. Pooja Garg.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Raksha, for having me here. Domestic violence is earth-shattering, life-shattering, and often bone-shattering. For me, it was also soul-shattering. When I shared my poetry on the stage a few years ago, I was still on my path to be a survivor. Today I would like to take this time to give voice to voiceless amongst us, our children affected by domestic violence. Because when we think about domestic violence, we often think about intimate partner abuse. Children are often forgotten as collateral damage. As part of my fellowship, I explored intergenerational trauma and the effects of domestic violence on children. It may surprise some of us to know that the trauma these children go through is similar to soldiers in war. And these adverse childhood experiences can reduce a child's lifespan by as much as 20 years. 20 years I was shocked to hear when I first came across this fact. We have one of the highest number of child survivors, and I spoke with many. My poem today is inspired by some of these real-life conversations that I had. I would urge you to think of these children as you listen. My son Tanmay is in the audience tonight, and he inspires me every day with empathy, support, intelligence. And this is also for him. My poem is called Crumble, and I begin now. Mother says, eat, for my skin to become smooth, for my muscles to turn firm, for my bones to grow strong. Eat, 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 she says, hurriedly now, looking at the door, now looking at the garage, now looking at the garage door opening, now looking at the garage door closing, now looking at my father coming in, now my father bringing my plate to me. Eat, 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 he says. Slowly now, so slowly it soothes after mother's incessant rush. So slowly he puts the plate down. So slowly he puts his hands on my face. So slowly I don't see the slap coming. For my smooth skin, my firm muscles, my strong bones to crumble now, now, now. Father says learn coding, learn binary, 1 and 0, yes and no. He says yes, we are one income family, 0 contribution from mother. She says no, she cooks, cleans, takes care of me. Yes, 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 I say, clutching her hand. No, my binary father says, as she is pushed to the wall. No, as she is taken to the hospital. No, as she returns, this time, to say yes. I was sure he was my friend. I knew it, because we shared the same bus, the classroom, the table at lunchtime. I knew it definitely because he did not call my lunch smelly when I opened my box of lemon rice from home, and also because he said I was smart. So when he asked for my notes, I gave them to him. I gave them to him again when he was out for a match, when he had a date, when he went on holiday. He even had my notebook in his bag the day he called me his Indian slave, in a voice that echoed down the bus, the classroom, the lunch table. Thank you.
Each year, Raksha gives out the Himmat Award or Courage Award. It was created to honor the courage of survivors, partners, and community members who speak up or provide pathways for healing, empowerment, and justice. Chetan Patel exemplifies quiet courage and is a 28-year veteran of the hospitality industry. His responsibilities with Buckhead America include property operations, planning, budgeting, and property development. Prior to starting Buckhead America Hospitality, Chetan was the Executive Vice President at Cornerstone Hospitality, where he directed hotel development efforts and has also served as Senior Vice President of the Country Hearth Inn brand hotels. Chetan has always been a silent and huge supporter of Raksha, providing rooms in hotels for survivors, clients, and their families as they try to break from the cycle of violence. Please welcome Chetan Patel.
I'm not a very good community speaker, but I just want to say thank you to Raksha. As a lot of you don't know, Aparna and I go back all the way to Georgia State, so once again, we're always there for you guys, and thank you very much, and everybody have a great evening.
I didn't want to brag, but yeah, GSU alumni. The Seeds of Change Award. This award is presented to individuals who help Raksha's work grow beyond measure. It was created in honor of Rita Patel, the first therapist at Raksha who helped grow our counseling programming. Rita continues to provide wisdom, mentorship, and guidance to help up-and-coming therapists and advocates at Raksha. She planted seeds for healing and growth for both the survivors and the staff. This year's Raksha Seed of Change Award recipient is Alyssa Cobbs. Alyssa is an experienced non-profit leader with over 20 years of experience in the non-profit sector. She has a proven track record of successfully managing complex projects, leading cross-functional teams, and driving impactful initiatives. Currently, she serves as a senior project manager at Ed Assist by Bright Horizons, where she oversees project activities for key clients. In this position, she has co-founded the Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Committee for the department and fosters knowledge sharing across teams. Alyssa helped facilitate getting the Community Foundation of Greater Atlanta to assist in the response to Atlanta spa shootings. In 2017, during a leadership program, she founded her friendship with Aparna Bhattacharya, which led her to learning more and becoming even more connected to the powerful work that Raksha does. This year, Alyssa also helped with the coordination of tonight's program, utilizing her management skills to ensure a successful fundraising event for our 26th Ek Shaam Raksha Ke Naam event. Please welcome Alyssa Cobbs.
Thanks, everybody. So this award is in honor of Rita Patel and for all of the healing that she has offered to people throughout the community. Tonight's been a full night, so I don't want to take too much of your time, but we've also heard a lot of really harrowing statistics and some personal stories of people's courage. So before we go to the next stage, could everybody just take a moment and take a breath? What we want you to walk away from tonight is the celebration of everybody that comes together in community for the work of Raksha and its partners to occur throughout the organization. Throughout the city of Atlanta. There we go. I'm done. Thanks, y'all.
A special mention to all the youth we have had the pleasure of engaging with on campus through workshops, as well as a special thanks to those who have hosted fundraisers and volunteered. I'm going to now introduce our very own Raksha Youth Club that has been actively welcoming Raksha Youth Club, that has been very actively involved. And I'm now going to welcome two Youth Club co-presidents on stage, Tara Purushottam and Adya Srinivasan.
Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Adya and I'm here with Tara, and together we founded Raksha Youth to raise awareness, create dialogue, and provide support on critical issues affecting the youth in our community.
Hi everyone, my name is Tara and it's so wonderful to be here with all of you tonight.
This year we have made significant strides in our efforts, and we wanted to take a moment to share what we have accomplished. One of our most important campaigns this year was focused on opioid abuse awareness. With the opioid crisis continuing to impact young people and their families, we felt it was crucial to address this issue head-on. We hosted several events in collaboration with healthcare professionals and local organizations to educate our peers about the dangers of opioid misuse, the early signs of addiction, and the resources that are available to help those who are struggling. This campaign has been especially important in raising awareness and sparking vital conversations about prevention and recovery in our community. Another focus area of ours was teen dating violence and abuse. We hosted educational workshops that aimed to empower youth with knowledge and resources to prioritize their well-being. These efforts encouraged open discussions about dating violence, mental health and emotional challenges, and they helped to break the stigma around seeking help. In addition, we participated in numerous Raksha outreach events, like the NAAAP Atlanta Community Service event, the Colors of India event at Stone Mountain, and the Parkview Day Festival. The NAAAP NAAP event at Kimberly Clark and the Solidarity Walk at the start of the school year supported the Back to School and Diaper Drive organized for Raksha. These initiatives made a significant impact, benefiting organizations dedicated to addressing gender-based violence and offering vital support to immigrant communities. These platforms allowed us to engage with a larger audience, and the incredible support that we received reaffirmed the positive impact of our efforts.
It has been an inspiring year, and we're even more excited to look ahead to 2025. Our first event of the year will be in partnership with Dr. Sumit Verma, a pediatric neurologist and founder of the RP Epilepsy Foundation. This nonprofit organization is dedicated to raising community awareness about seizure-related injuries by educating epilepsy patients and their caregivers. One of the leading causes of breakthrough seizures is mismedication. To address this, we at Raksha Youth encourage you and your loved ones to use a pill box to remind you to take your medications on time. In addition to this, we will continue our opioid awareness efforts. The opioid crisis is a public health emergency that is not going away, and Raksha Youth is determined to keep this at the forefront of our agenda by educating youth about the dangers of opioid misuse, advocating for better resources for recovery, and fostering a community of support for those affected. We'll be expanding our reach to ensure that the message of prevention, healing, and hope spread far and wide. We would like to also thank Parvi Anand, who has organized a supply drive for Raksha from the Levitt School and is in the process of organizing the educational event on human trafficking in January of 2025. Please join us in welcoming Ms. Parvi Anand to the stage.
Hi everyone, my name is Parvi Anand and I'm a junior at the Levitt School. I recently started a nonprofit organization called Brushes of Freedom. Brushes of Freedom is an organization that aims to raise awareness, empower, heal, and rehabilitate victims of human trafficking through the transformative power of the arts. Some of our initiatives include portfolio development, art therapy sessions, and events. Our first event will be held on January 29th of 2025, a Bollywood dance drama called Rhythms of Resilience. Human trafficking is such a taboo subject in our society, which is why I believe we, the youth, have the power to break the stigma around it. Thank you. I would also like to thank Aparna ji and Raksha Youth for giving me the opportunity to speak about my organization. Thank you.
We are so grateful to Ms. Aparna Bhattacharya, Ms. Nisha Kappal, and all the Raksha members for the incredible support that we've received this year. We can't wait to continue the work that we've started with other youth in the Metro Atlanta area and uphold Raksha's mission.
We are excited for what's to come in 2025, and we hope you'll continue this journey with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And this goes back to my opening remarks about looking at the next generation leaders and those who will continue to make a difference. These young people continue to give us hope, and let's hope that we can support them in all of their ventures and continue to make this community stronger and healthier. Before we conclude our show tonight, I want to thank everybody again for being here and your support. Next year will be Raksha's 30th anniversary, and we will be doing a magnificent event and evening. Any help from all of you will be most welcomed, and stay tuned for those details. Be sure to stop in the marketplace to purchase books by Alka Joshi, to get some henna done, and we're also going to open the dance floor. Don't forget to donate at the Raksha table for the marketplace event. And I'd also like to thank Jeffrey Whitley and Sean Wheely at Crown Plaza for all of their help into making this evening such a beautiful event and for the fabulous location. I also want to thank our AV and our technical support people, without whom this would not have gone as smoothly as it did. And please go and enjoy, have a fabulous evening. And before I forget, because I did promise a couple of tables here extra dessert, there is dessert available. So please do go and enjoy it. And thank you so much again from the bottom of our hearts. Be safe.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will.
If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then, when they annexed Hawaii and called it Cedar Lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves a republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No regard for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. We will.
So if we put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course. Cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No regard for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. We will.